have a new set of patterns here that I haven't yet labeled. So I haven't labeled my dot paper, but I've also already transferred it to manila, and I haven't labeled that either. So I need to label my dot paper and my manila patterns. And I just wanted to let you know that you may decide to label your patterns by hand. This one goes with this one, like so. Oh, never mind, that goes with that one. So label your patterns by hand, like so. Before you label your patterns, if possible, try and rabbit punch them first, or at least plan where you're going to rabbit punch them. And when you're deciding where to rabbit punch, you want to hold the pattern by that spot where you think you're going to punch the hole, and let it hang. And the pattern should hang perfectly straight. It shouldn't like hang off to one side. So I wouldn't punch it here in this corner, because then it would hang like that. And then this gets compromised and it'll rip. So I have it punched here in the middle so that it'll hang straight and it's less likely to get compromised. So that's one thing. The other thing you want to do before you put your label on is draw in your grain lines and your cross grain lines. Put your punch holes and your notches. That way when you go to label your pattern, the label isn't in the way of anything or getting damaged by anything. One other thing you'll want to do before you label your patterns is put your contour lines in on your basic block. So I haven't done that yet on my back. So I need to put my contour lines in also so that my label doesn't get in the way. And then for years, my MO has been to label the pattern so that when I'm looking at it with the top at the top, that my label is right side up. But I typically punch my patterns either at the top or the bottom of the pattern. So when it's hanging, I kind of have to like tilt my head to read the label. So I have decided that instead of orienting my labels like this, I want to start orienting them sideways so that when my pattern is hanging, I can read it more easily. The other thing is when you punch your patterns, so here I've punched the bottom of the sleeve and I've punched the bottom of the skirt, so punch them consistently, so all at the bottom or all at the top. So this pattern I decided to punch at the top. So I punched in the top, punched in the top, punched in the top, right? So be consistent. And same thing with your labels. Either orient them with the label right side up when you're, when the pattern piece is the way it's going to be on the body, or put them sideways, but all in the same direction sideways, so that when the pattern is hanging, it's easier to read. Okay, so you can either label them by hand, or another option that I wanted to show you is that you can print labels. So I created this file in Canvas. So in our Canvas, there's this page and it has a link to this file. So on the page, it's just reminding you to use your initials, not my initials. My first name starts with an H. So if your first name doesn't start with an H, then you shouldn't have an H in your style number on your pattern. And make sure you use your dress form name or number. So if you're using 150, or if you're using Iris, or if you're using Linda Blair, just make sure that you have the name of the form for which you drafted the pattern. And then, like I said, you're welcome to label your patterns very neatly by hand. You have to use black ink for most of the writing, and you have to use red ink to circle the punch holes and to write seamless on the basic block. So there should only be red and black ink, no pencil, no blue, no green. So you can do that by hand with red and black pens, or if you have a color printer And these clear matte labels, I put a link to these on Amazon. There's 50 in a box here. You might not need 50, so you might want to search around for a better deal or fewer of them so you don't have to shell out so much money if you want to use this option. But for me, 50 at 80 cents a page was a good deal, especially because I don't like writing my labels. So anyway, once you have this open, what you can do is you can do file and make a copy to make your own copy. And then you can do edit, find and replace. So you can replace my name. So you can copy my name. And then you can go edit, find and replace. And you can put my name there. And then you can change it to whatever your name is. And then you can replace all. And see, my name goes away and it's replaced with whatever you type. So I'm gonna undo that. And then you can do the same thing with the style number. I like to use up the whole page, so I don't wanna waste any of my 80-cent page of adhesive film. So I have one for my front bodice, and I have two for my back bodices. And I have, oh sorry, these are skirt front, two for my skirt back, one for my front bodice, two for my back bodice, and two for my sleeves. And then I had this extra space, so I went in ahead and put the 2 Dart front bodice label there. So I'll hang on to that when I print this out so that I have it for when I make my new front bodice label. When you go to make your other patterns, so along with this 2 Dart bodice, I'm going to make a different sleeve and a different back bodice and different skirts. So I might come in here and either make a copy of this file and edit it and change the information to create labels for my other patterns, or I might just edit this one because I've already printed them out and I don't need this anymore once I've printed it out. So I just wanted to give you those options. The point is just make sure that your patterns are labeled neatly with the correct information and the correct ink colors. Digital file and you have a color printer and you want to get those clear matte labels, that's great. If not, you can definitely label it by hand. Use a pencil so that your writing and is evenly spaced and neat and level, and take your time and write neatly. Or if you want to print, you have that option too.